Hey guys, what's going on? It's Vic here, back with another Madden 23 realistic rebuild, and I'm going to be rebuilding the Houston Texans with Bryce Young here. And as you can see, he's not on the team yet because I'm currently in the draft, ready to pick him. But one of my subscribers, big shout out to them for recommending me this rebuild. So make sure you do like and or subscribe this video and comment which team you'd like me to rebuild next. But this team we got right now, we're currently in the draft, so it's kind of disrespectful how John Mechie doesn't even have star dev. I just noticed that. Defensively, this is what we got. Ooh, Jalen Petrie got superstar dev in the offseason. Didn't even notice that, but this is the team we got. Some players are missing because free agency did happen, but let's go and pick our quarterback of the future. With the #1 overall pick, Bryce Young out of Alabama, 6', 194. People will say his size will matter in the NFL, but I can assure you guys, size does not matter. No, it does. I'm very upset. Anyways, on to the next pick. With our next pick, we're picking up tight end Michael Mayer, giving another weapon to Bryce Young. Some people say you should have gone defense here. There really wasn't that many good edge rushers on the board, so best player available, Michael Mayer. Here we are after the draft. Bryce Young is a 79 overall quarterback, and Michael Mayer is a 75 overall tight end. Looks pretty good. I got Antoine Harrison in the draft as well, and yeah, we'll deal with that once Titus Howard's contract comes up. Dameon Pierce is a beast. Brandon Cooks, he doesn't want to be on the team, so I am going to trade him just because in real life he just doesn't want to be here. And that's just the simple fact. The Bears want him. I think it would be fair for a second or a third round pick for Brandon Cooks, and boom, Brandon Cooks has gone to the Bears for a second round pick, and he just doesn't want to be here. I know I gave Bryce Young his only weapon now is Michael Mayer. I mean, John Mechie is a weapon, but for some reason they don't even give him a star dev. But what do you want me to do? I can't do anything because Brandon Cooks doesn't want to be here. You got to trade him. He's not going to play if you keep him on the team. Davis Mills, I'll deal with whenever his contract is up, and I'll probably trade him away. And then the defense really isn't that good. Campbell, Jack Campbell out of Iowa. I'm going to move him officially to, just not very good at any other position here. I mean, I got DJ Turner. Is it? Yeah, DJ Turner in like the 3rd round, I think. So, yeah, D-line needs huge help. Jerry Hughes is not going to help us down the line. Yeah, I know I should have gone edge rusher with my second overall, with my second first-round pick, but there really wasn't anyone good. Let's just move in to the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark as we were 2-5 bottom of the division. It's really no surprise. Bryce Young can only do so much. I'm going to do the scouting national focus to wide receiver as the strengths of the class is wide receiver, thank God. We do need some edge rushers as well, but maybe this will be a tank year in Bryce Young's first season, unfortunately for him. So Laramie Tunsil really, he doesn't want to be here, and he needs to be here. This is a must-have. I'm actually just going to give him a very player-friendly deal because he just needs to stay here. I don't care. He's our franchise left tackle. He's going to stay. Steven Nelson's old. He can walk. Everyone else here just really don't have much of an interest for. Yeah, don't really like anyone else there. Anyways, guys, apart from that, it is now time to move in to the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs going 4-13, so I think it is time to make a playbook change. Bryce Young did not do good in the Texans playbook. 25th best offense in the NFL and 30th best defense. I mean, not a horrible ratio to touchdowns to interceptions, but not good either. Dameon Pierce, 1,300 yards, 14 touchdowns, 4.7 per carry is a great year. John Mechie, 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns, showing out. Amari Rodgers, 11 touchdowns, 882 yards. Jack Campbell, 148 tackles for a loss. 18 from Malik Collins, sacks, 4.5 for Jonathan Grenard, interceptions, 2 for Desmond King, safeties, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. So yeah, I'm going to have to change up those schemes. Anyways, it's now time to move in to the offseason. In the offseason, the Green Bay Packers win the Super Bowl over the Broncos as Rashawn Gary wins the Super Bowl MVP, Trevor Lawrence wins the league MVP, Doug Peterson wins Coach of the Year, Jaguars just balled out. But looking at the roster upgrades, Bryce Young has superstar development. I know for a fact that he did not earn that. Wearing number 15, awareness, deep accuracy. Okay, got the upgrade. And Michael Mayer probably came with superstar as well. I'm assuming this is Bengals draft class. If you guys don't know who Bengal is, then that's on you. But yeah, John Mechie does not get a development upgrade, which is unfortunate. Dameon Pierce actually had a pretty good year as well. Defensively, Campbell gets a development upgrade, which is huge since he's so young and we don't have to pay him. Steven Nelson's regressing pretty hard. So let's move into the retirements and the re-signings. For the retirements, nobody on the Texans has retired. There's no one really here in the players ready to negotiate that I really want. Everyone here is just, Jerry Hughes regressed to nothing. Steven Nelson regressed to nothing. Let's move into free agency. And with so much money to spend and no QB to pay, it's no surprise we bought out in free agency, getting AJ Terrell, Mike Evans on a pretty cheap deal, Brandon Ayuk, Ed Oliver, Cameron Curl, Jordan Brooks, and Tyler Bass on a pretty cheap deal. So now our main focus is probably edge rusher, considering we have Mike Evans and Brandon Ayuk, but who knows, it could still be a wide receiver in the draft. In the draft, I'm picking up the best player available, the wide receiver, Jalen Van Buren. He was the top player on the board, literally the number one player. And the Seahawks and the Vikings had a pick before us. They both went QB, and now we have three amazing receivers on the team. And with my other first round pick, I'm picking up defensive end Doug McCain out of USC, hidden development, 6'3" speed rusher. He seems pretty good. And in my second round with the Browns pick, Morgan Johnson, hidden development out of Wisconsin, 6'7" and 321 pounds with 92 strength. Not very athletic, but the 92 strength is a huge deal. He's probably going to be starting over Antoine. Here we are after the draft. It looks like the CPU picked up this running back, but oh my god. Jalen is an 80 overall. He looks great. Ratings, 95 acceleration, 92 catching. Just a great playmaker overall. Yeah, and he's a playmaker archetype as well. Dude looks great. Johnson's a 74 overall. The interior offensive linemen that I picked in the later rounds aren't very good. But still, this team looks baller with Ayuk, Jalen, Mike Evans, who will probably retire in a couple of years, but that's why we got the other guy, Jalen. McCain is a 75 overall. He's going to be great. Aubrey I picked up in the second round with my first second round pick, and he's a 73 overall without the boost. Jordan Brooks is going to be great in the scheme. He is a scheme fit. AJ Terrell, Derek Stingley, Desmond King probably won't be here too long. Kind of upsetting that Derek Stingley is a number 3 DB. He should be honestly a higher overall than that, especially after this year. Cameron Curl, and team just looks so baller right now. Still need to work on the defensive line a little bit for sure. But other than that, guys, I think this is definitely a playoff team here. Let's see how it works in the midseason mark. We're 2-5. How? How are we 2-5? Our offense is just mid and our defense is somehow worse. So we got the players ready to negotiate. Desmond King is not a player I want. Same with Nico Collins, Amari Rodgers. Davis Mills is a guy that I want to get value out of, so I am going to trade him away. Third round pick for Davis Mills is going to the Atlanta Falcons. Our scouting national focus is probably going to be right end, wide receiver, Man, I don't know what to do here. Probably defensive tackle. I think I like that the best. And apart from that, guys, it is now time to move in to the playoffs and see if we can bounce back in this season. And here we are in the playoffs going at 9-8, making a bounce back on the season, coming off a win to the Packers, but unfortunately, just the team didn't do good. The offense just fell off. The defense stepped up, though. That was an unfortunate season. Bryce Young looked great, actually. Better season. 20th best offense and 20th best defense. Bryce Young, 4,500 yards, 35 touchdowns, 11 receptions. Dameon Pierce, 18 touchdowns, 4.7 per carry, 1,100 yards. Mike Evans, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. Brandon Ayuk, 13 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. And Jalen with 938 yards and 5 touchdowns. Good rookie season. Defensively, Jordan Brooks, 106 tackles for a loss, 20 for the rookie Albury. Great. That's great to see. And Ed Oliver with 20. So hopefully this guy does get started. I think I will give it to him. Sacks, 11 for Doug McCain, the rookie edge rusher. Great to see. Interceptions, 4 for Desmond King. I'm still not going to resign him. Safety, 0 defensive touchdowns is 1 for AJ Terrell. So it's now time to move into the offseason. The Kansas City Chiefs destroy the Panthers in the Super Bowl as Akeem Davis Gaither, one of the rookies in this upcoming class, wins the Super Bowl MVP with the Chiefs. Joe Burrow wins the league MVP, and there are no awards here for the Houston Texans. And for the development upgrades on the team, it looks like, Jalen only has star dev. That's really disappointing. Mayweather has star dev as well. Johnson has star dev. Just disappointing, but defensively, okay, McCain has superstar development. Did he come with that or did he get that? He came with that. Okay, sick pickup. I like that a lot. And our other defensive end that I got in the second round has star dev. Good stuff. So I still need a defensive tackle. Desmond King is superstar now. That puts me in a predicament. I do not like that. But let's get to the retirements and the re-sign players. There are no retirements for the Houston Texans. Desmond King, I did give an offer for. I gave him a player-friendly deal, 2 years and a good amount of money. He just doesn't want to play for the team, so I am just going to let him walk. And then everybody else on this team, like, can I tag him? No, I'm not paying him $24 million a year. Everyone else here, just straight garbage. Don't have an interest for him. Let's move to free agency. Here we are after free agency. I ended up getting Chardavius Ward, Austin Corbett, Joe, is it Tryon? Or I don't know how do you say that. I'm going to call him Joe. Jerome Baker as well. And I know I should know how to pronounce his first name, his last name, because he was a first-round pick, but I don't care. Let's move to the draft. And in the first round, I'm picking up defensive tackle Kerry Parker out of Oklahoma State. Hidden development, power rusher, 88 strength, 78 speed. He looks pretty decent. And in the second round, I'm picking up center Tim Westerman out of Louisville. Hidden development, 6'1", 291. A little bit undersized for the position, but he is a pass protector and he will help with our offensive line. Now, this is the team after the draft. Our center is a 72 overall, so that's good. I picked up this Dixon tight end. Weird how I said that, but you know what I mean. Dixon, I picked him up in the third round, and John Mechie is 77 overall. Kind of just caught my eye there. And yeah, offense is just looking great with Austin Corbett on the signing and Westerman as well. Defensively, though, Parker, 75 overall with the boost. Looks like the CPU picked up this guy named Daniels. We're looking pretty good. DJ Turner really hasn't developed, but he's been a 4-string the entire time. Really not a big deal. But yeah, team looks great. We got great depth as well in all positions. I really like what we got. Maybe we replace Campbell in the next season, but this is, I believe, the 3rd season for the team. If not, doesn't matter. Still going to be doing our best. So let's move into the midseason mark. Here we are at the midseason mark. We are 4-3, top of the division. That's good, but at the same time, Titans are 0-7. Sucks to be them. But we can lose this at any point. So 4-3 isn't good enough. I think my scouting national focus is probably, this is really hard because we don't really need anything really. I guess outside linebacker. For our players ready to negotiate, sure, we have our punter, don't really care. Some random QB that the CPU signed, Dameon Pierce. And Dameon Pierce does re-sign with the team. Good stuff. He had interest in re-signing. I'm glad that we got him back. Jalen Petrie, I do want to bring back, and he does have a high interest, and he does re-sign with the team as well. Derek Stingley is a must-have on this team. He's corner piece for this defense, and he re-signs. Kenyon Green really doesn't have an interest in re-signing, but I have to pay him because I just don't want to draft someone new, and he does re-sign, so it's a little bit of an overpay, but he's fine. John Mechie, he just doesn't get involved enough, but this is a stupid cheap contract. I'll take this down a little bit, and he does want more money, but I'm not going to consider it. He can just walk. Maybe I'll re-sign him, actually, and give him a neutral deal. Everyone else here just don't really care for it. So let's move into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs going 11-6, top of the division. Coming off a win to the Jaguars. Good stuff. Bryce Young, not a good season. Okay, 24th best offense in the NFL. Defense carried, best in the NFL. Bryce Young, 4,100 yards, 31 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Not getting the production that I really expected out of him. Dameon Pierce, 1,200 yards, 4.6 per carry, 16 touchdowns. Great season. Brandon Ayuk, 92 receptions, 1,200 yards, 6 touchdowns. Jalen with 6 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. Mike Evans, huge drop off. Michael Mayer really hasn't done amazing this rebuild, but good enough for a tight end. Looking at it defensively, Jordan Brooks, 111 tackles for a loss, 15 for Kerry Parker, sacks, 15 for Ed Oliver, 13.5 for Joe. Good stuff. Doug McCain didn't have as much because Joe was taking the reps. And interceptions, Derek Stingley with 4 safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. So let's see if we can beat the Pittsburgh Steelers to move on to the divisional round. Is it possible here? And Bryce Young wins his very first playoff game here to face the 13-4 Baltimore Ravens to move on to the conference championship. And we do not. 25-22. That's kind of what I expected. Let's move into the 4th and final season. And the Ravens with Lamar Jackson crush the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson wins the Super Bowl MVP and the league MVP. Hopefully that happens in real life. As a Ravens fan, I'd love to see that. Hopefully not in 2025, sooner than that. But yeah, no awards here for the Houston Texans. And for the development upgrades offensively, we look the exact same. I don't know how Brandon Ayuk isn't getting superstar dev. Same with Dameon Pierce. He's already a 95 overall. Looking at it defensively, though, looks like we are the exact same team all around. That is really, really disappointing, especially since Joe had a good season too, so that's upsetting. But yeah, I don't really know what else this team needs. I scouted outside linebacker. Campbell's good enough. Parker's a star dev. Our center was only a star dev. We have good DBs. Daniels is a star dev. We really don't need anything, if I'm being honest. Yeah, maybe, sure, I guess I can draft another receiver. I don't need anything on this team, and it's kind of crazy how lackluster it is for how good the team is, really. There are no retirements for the Houston Texans. In just the re-signings, I really don't like anyone here. John Mechie, I mean, I really don't think we're going to draft a higher prospect than a 78 overall, unless we get like a number 1 overall pick again. So I'll honestly give him just a little bit more money too, since we have so much. We have all the receivers we need. We really have everything. Let's just move into free agency because we still have money to spend. So in free agency, this isn't what I expected. I don't need receiver. I'm not getting Garrett Wilson. Alvin Kamara is a lower overall than Dameon Pierce. Drake London, don't need. Taylor Moton, don't need. Amani Hooker, don't need. Just all these guys I just do not need, and I'm just going to move on to the draft instead of participating in free agency. So it's the 4th and final season. I'm trading away everything. A first this year, a first next year, and a second this year for the defensive end, Joey Bosa. He's 28 years old. I need an X factor on this defensive line. Literally, there's nothing in the draft I can draft to improve my team. I have to trade away my picks, and that's what I'm doing here. Joey Bosa to the Texans, and he was on the Bears after free agency, which is a little weird, but yeah, I don't have any more draft capital, so let's get back into the team. Now, this is the team going into the final season. It's really overpowered. I don't know how this team hasn't made a further run than just the divisional round. Kind of crazy to me defensively. This is what we're rocking with. Aubrey was pretty good his rookie season, but like, can I move him into defensive tackle? Because he had so many tackles for a loss. Yeah, he's 6'3", 293. I'm going to move this guy into the defensive tackle position. And yeah, Aubrey is now at the defensive tackle position over Parker. I mean, yeah, he can still get reps with Parker as well. And team looks so good, dude. There's really just nothing to improve. Maybe left outside linebacker, but I already got Joey Bosa. So apart from that, guys, let's just simulate to the playoffs. Here we are going 15-2 in the playoffs, coming off a win to the Cowboys. Great sign. Wow. 92 overall team. Let's look at the stats. Bryce Young finally producing good numbers. 4th best offense in the NFL and best defense in the NFL. That's what I'm talking about. 4,700 yards, 35 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Dameon Pierce, 11 touchdowns. Ooh, Jaden Mayweather with 13. Dameon Pierce, 1,200 yards. Brandon Ayuk, 1,400 yards, 14 touchdowns. Jalen with almost 1,100 yards. Michael Mayer with 908. Looking at it defensively, we have Jerome Baker, not Breaker. That would have been his sick last name. With 102 tackles for a loss, 15 for Nick Bosa. Sacks, 27.5. Holy shit. It's got to be a record, dude. That in a season, let's see, the defensive sacks. Yeah, Nick Bosa, not Joey Bosa. I think I said Joey Bosa by accident there. So, yeah, congrats to him. He wins Defensive Player of the Year for sure after that. Interceptions, 4 for Jordan Brooks, and safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. So anyways, guys, let's move into the divisional round. In the divisional round, we're going to be facing the 9-8 Cleveland Browns, and considering we haven't even made it to a conference championship yet, I'm going to hop into this game. Here we are against the Cleveland Browns at home, as we are 15-2 and they are 9-8. So this should be a sweeping, metaphorically speaking, really. But yeah, it's hitting bars there. Come on, he finally gets a touchdown. Second quarter, and well, now second half, 13-12, 20-12 against the Browns, 27-12. Good stuff. I feel like this one's on lock. 30-12 against the Browns and 30-19. And that's going to be the game, as we are going to be moving on to the conference championship. In the conference championship, we have a hard opponent with the 12-5 Kansas City Chiefs. Let's hop into this matchup. Here we are against the Kansas City Chiefs. Opening drive, we have a score, but so did the Chiefs. 7-7 start here, 14-7, and the Chiefs strike right back. Always responding to our team, 21-14. Offense is rolling 21-24, 21-24, 21. Oh my gosh, I can't keep up with the score. 38-21, I like to see that. Come on, 41-28, 35-41. Do not choke this. Just literally run out the clock. Game is on the line. Big stop here. What did you guys do? What did they do? 8 seconds left? Come on. What are you guys doing? I have to hop in and play this. There's no way. Yeah, give cushion. Oh, 8 seconds. Thank God. The CPU, I know, would have scored on that if I didn't hop in, even though the clock would have realistically ran out. But thank God we won that, as we are now moving on to the Super Bowl with Bryce Young. Here we are in the Super Bowl here to face the 11-6 Green Bay Packers. For the offensive upgrades, it looks like Brandon Ayuk gets Superstar Dev. No X Factor for Bryce Young, but that's fine by me. Defensively, looking into it, looks like we are the exact same. Actually, Jordan Brooks does have Superstar Dev, so that's cool. But anyways, guys, let's move into the Super Bowl against the Green Bay Packers. Here we are in Miami to play the Super Bowl, and 7-0 start for the Green Bay Packers. 7-3 now, 10-3. Still a one-score game for us. Almost halftime at 10-10. 13-10 as we take the lead at half, 16-10 against the Packers. We're finally responding, 19-10. Offense has only had 1 touchdown. There's the second one. There's the third one, 34-13, 34-20. I like this comfortable lead. They kind of came back there, 34-27, as Bryce Young is going to win the Super Bowl, and that is going to be a successful rebuild for the Houston Texans. I don't know what this animation is, considering that Bryce Young literally just ran out on the field to celebrate with the team. Now he's on the sidelines holding his head, but now Cameron Curl is on the screen and Damian Pierce is. But anyways, weird Madden game, weird how it is. Hate this game 90% of the time. I have no idea who that QB is for the Green Bay Packers, but that is going to do it for this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Apart from that, boys, actually, before I give it this outro, let's see who the Super Bowl MVP was. Your Super Bowl MVP was Bryce Young, and Buster Cherry wins Coach of the Year, boys, and Nick Bosa wins Defensive Player of the Year, no surprise. But anyways, guys, apart from that, I thank you guys all for watching. Let me know down below in the comments which team you'd like me to rebuild next, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.